I was corporate burnout, had been in corporate America for over 20 years, from Wall Street to Midtown Manhattan, launching products for L'Oreal, Lancome, traveling internationally, living in New Jersey, raising a daughter, commuting. The lifestyle was a bit crazy, and until I stepped away from it, I didn't really realize how crazy it really was. And then I got sick. I moved to Columbus, Ohio, and was putting in 70 hours a week and felt that sleep was overrated, and I really didn't take care of my health at all. And I pushed myself to the brink where I actually collapsed and was in bed for 9 months. And it gave me time to reassess my life. And when I started to really look into programs to change, I found Jim Bunch through a Jack Canfield program. And when I met Jim, his laser coaching really impressed me. And I really felt I was so thirsty for this and in such need for this that I really embraced it. And I followed Jim from a 90-day training into a more intensive training, a year training, and really took stock of my life. And it gave me the ability to really handle a lot of things that I didn't even know was going to be coming down the path of my life. So as a parent, it really helped me become a better parent and to provide better guidance to my daughter. And after college, I introduced her to the work, and she fully embraced it. She created goals, set affirmations. She understood that life was about choices, and it wasn't by accident that life happens to her. So I really credit Jim so much for the work that I did with him, but it also impacted generations because of what I was able to instill in my daughter as well. And I also had a very life-changing big event. My ex-husband wound up involved in addictions, and he was a corporate executive, very conservative, and it blew me away that the personal side of his life was such a mess, and it was devastating. And at that time, I felt that if I didn't have the training that Jim had provided and understanding how I have always a choice in how to respond to things in life, that I probably would have crumbled. And to have the strength and the tools in my toolbox, so to speak, to be able to handle life's challenges and understanding that I didn't need to be a victim through this situation, that I always had a choice to stand strong, to really respond to the situation and not crumble and become a victim to the circumstances around me. And it wasn't until I met Jim that I really understood that I had a whole world of choices in front of me. And it really opened up my world tremendously. I was able to really realize that what I did in corporate was not who I was. And for many years, when people said, "Who was I identified my role in corporate as who I was as a person. And I had lost myself. And this gave me my life back. It gave me who I was. And I just feel alive again and not just going through day-to-day motions and drudgery. I wake up every day knowing I'm going to impact somebody's life positively. And since my experience with Jim on a personal level, I was able to be featured in Women Entrepreneur magazine. I was able to be the #1 producer in my company. I was able to do charitable work and be the CEO and chairwoman at my local city level for human trafficking. I've been able to give back. I'm not in debt. I'm physically much stronger and healthier. And my mindset and outlook on life has been increased dramatically. So I have nothing but good things to say, and I'm so grateful that I took advantage of what Jim has to offer. When I was able to get into an entrepreneurial environment where I could control my environment and create the environment I wanted, I was able to really help lead people, train them, and help them get the life that they want. And that's the total joy. It wasn't what I had in corporate. It was all about this false sense of achievement when all I was doing was really pushing, shampoo and cosmetics out the door. And now as an entrepreneur, I have the ability to change lives today and legacies as well because of the coaching and training that I received is how it helps me and empowers me to be the leader that people respect and want to be around because I really serve them. has been an amazing ride, and I really love it. Taking control of my life, taking control of all the environments, from relationships to spirituality to my network, because Jim will tell you your network is your net worth, that I'm surrounding myself with people that I want to be around. And in corporate, I never had that type of lifestyle, or what I considered back then a luxury. And now I have these choices, made those choices thanks to Jim and the tug community, and it's just, there's no turning back, there's no turning back. Well, I would encourage you from the bottom of my heart, because the transformation that I was able to have for me was so dramatic that it's my responsibility to share with people what this program has to offer, because it's your life. And as corny as that sign is, life is not a dress rehearsal. This is your life, and this is what are you changing your hours for in your lifetime? Is it misery? Is it joy? Is it love? Is it hate? Jim opens up so many doors for you that you'd be remiss not to experience this for yourself. For me to share my experience is one thing, but for you to share it and feel it and experience it yourself is a whole different level. And I know for myself, for my daughter, for her to experience the work directly had so much more of an impact than me going back home saying, Jim said, Jim said, Jim said. It's like trying to explain an experience at a symphony. You can't go home and explain it. You've got to understand how all the pieces and the parts of your life together will create a magnificent symphony. But for me to tell that to you versus you experience it is a world apart. And everybody has their own experience, and I would encourage you to have your own, because once you have your own experience, you'll have your own life. I would encourage you to make that decision today, because why postpone your joy? Why postpone your happiness? And why postpone your ability to be the best person you possibly can be?